down.
So I can scroll down. Okay.
So you can these are all the universities that some days ago, like there was like one foreign university that this like thing. So the main goal is like the
Connection is not that good, but yeah.
so so our is to like help the international students like to find roommates or like whatever the information about the dorm. And then, like it's myself as an international student, had that difficulty like finding the which dorm is like good or like generally like the students like living there like considers like what they like consider the best dorm. So like I made a platform where like you can like put the reviews and like rate the dorms and then like you can even like find the roommates. So this is the of it. And then right now like I've been working on like some app function where like there is like certain app like this like application where you can like use to like track the attendance of the like different clubs. So like the ideas like you can say like how like or maybe we can even like
Okay. Thank you very much. So that's basically it. He's a student like you, and I really like the fact that he took time to build this thing, and that's what we want to encourage. I've seen so many international students here graduating and not being capable of building anything. I, I've helped so many students graduating here in computer science. They'll come to me. That's why I've decided to become the head of the tech club, because I've noticed that you guys have different needs. Maybe your teacher, the way your teacher is explaining, doesn't suit you. It doesn't suit you. Maybe the teacher is too fast, or maybe the teacher is too slow. Maybe you don't even like the teacher. It doesn't matter. Like it can be true. So we want to encourage initiatives. So if you have initiative, don't don't hesitate. You come here, you can find people that you can work with. So I think I will send the link later in the group because he wanted us to rate to add reviews, right? I will send it later in the group so you guys can review our app. I think that's the least that we can do to encourage him. And I've also suggested him to, because we are building this attendance tracking app. So if whatever you guys are building is compatible with this app, we will try to integrate it because the stack is Django, right? Django and HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, right? On the front end and Django on the back end. So if you're a beginner, but I feel like I really owe this to our friend Minghong. So that's it. You will find a chair. So you can take this. Okay. So that's mainly it. I've said everything I had to say. Maybe one more thing. You, what are you doing out there? Where's your laptop? In your bag. So you just want to listen to me. But you're not a beginner. Okay. So for you guys experience, like if you're a beginner, maybe you can come closer to me if you like, there are some empty seats. Now for experienced people, I'd like you maybe to take time to get closer to experienced people too. For now, you can be busy with your own stuff if whatever I'm saying here is too basic for you. But I'd like after every meeting, when we are done explaining basic concepts, for you to connect. Just feel free to talk to everyone, to explain whatever you are doing. Maybe you want to join this project. It's also like, I would encourage you to try. Are you recruiting? Not recruiting, but do you expect any collaboration and stuff? Okay, so we have like different students working on it. Maybe after later they'll contact you and they'll try to. Yeah, we will try, but there's a problem about this. Divine, hello. So you're working on the attendance app, right? The problem is that Divine, you are building it with C++. That's a problem that we have. You know, you have really smart people doing things that I would never dream of. Like, I can't do that. I will never choose C++ to do such a thing. But it's really good at C++ and it's building it with C++. I think it's not going to integrate with what you are building. So what I would suggest is that you can work on Python, like on this specific app yourself, and then others having the same stack like Python will join you and you work together. But for example, Divine is already experienced in C++. He will keep on writing it with like in C++ on his own, and maybe later we will see, because our goal is trying to reward. We reward like the best implementations that we have on this challenge, and we are negotiating with the school. But excuse me, sorry to cut you off. You guys can come closer to me. Come here, come here. Don't stay there. Come here. Please, guys, come here, come here, come here. I think this room is not big enough. So you can come here, guys. What? You need a bigger room. We don't have any sponsor, yeah. So you're going to support us financially, right? Okay, no problem. So that's basically it. So, but what about your friend? Can you introduce yourself, please? Abraham. Oh, some web dev. So you're experienced in web dev. So which year? Computer science, right? Which year? What? Second year. And you are doing second year too. And this guy is doing second year. You know him. You all right. And do you have good teachers, guys? I agree. I get it. I get it. So, so now I think I'm going to go to basics, and I'll be talking to beginners. So you guys can be busy doing your own stuff. I don't know. You can be writing code. You can be doing stuff. And when we are done here, I'm going to take time to communicate with you. So just feel free to do whatever you want, as long as it's not too noisy and it doesn't disturb those learning basics. So basically, today I've said that we were going to talk about. What about you? Are you experienced or 20%? What's your preferred programming language? Preferred Python. So and what's your major? Data science. Which year? So you are doing first year. And how long have you been programming?
I had a lot of leisure time, so I just out of hobby, I used to learn the basic things, the loops, the functions.
So basically, you are good at lead code. Lead code. Then it's okay. So we are going to start today's session. I think last time we've talked about variables, right? We have also talked about basic data types. I'm not going to come back to data types. You guys have exams. My goal will be trying to speed it up so you can write some code. So I said previously that it doesn't matter which programming language you are using. You don't care. As long as you can say the same thing, whether it's in English or in Spanish, you have said what you had to say. But where there is a problem is depending on your audience, who is listening to you. If you talk to me in Chinese, I don't understand Chinese, so I will not be able to understand what you say. So we have people here studying Python, others studying C, and others studying like C++. But we have chosen only 2 programming languages here for the basic explanations that we will go through today: C and Python. I'm sorry, I don't write a lot of Python. I write a lot of Python code, but recently I've not been writing Python code. I mainly write like TypeScript, C# and Solidity code. Who knows Solidity? Blockchain development. Okay, C#. What do we use C# for? What? Game dev. Why do you guys do like game dev like this? C# is one of the preferred programming languages for backends. Yeah. Rust is better for backend. Yeah, that's the kind of philosophy I'm trying to break. It's good. Rust is good. Why? Because Rust is efficient when it comes to memory management, and it's faster, right? Garbage collector. C++. But there are some problems here. But this Oh, this conversation is going to be fun later. I really like knowledgeable guys, but we will talk about it later. But basically, C Sharp can do basically the same as Java and C++. Microsoft is really pushing C Sharp, and the .NET ecosystem has like a lot of plugins, libraries already available there. You can build so many things. So I mainly write C Sharp. What? No, .NET. Yeah, .NET. Yeah, I write codes APIs in .NET Core. What? I specialize in backend development, finance. What? Yeah, it's much more similar to Java. C Sharp is, yeah, because Java was developed by Sun Microsystem, I think. Then it's not really Java, but it's really, really close to Java. But maybe we'll talk about it later. But I just want to show you guys that the programming language doesn't matter. I've written code, smart contracts, blockchain. You write smart contract on the blockchain, right? I've written smart contracts in Solid, on Solana blockchain. I've written it with Rust. Rust is tough, it's not easy. But I was able to manage and write it. I've written also apps like, how do we say? Go, right? I've written stuff in Go. You can write it, but it's not my expertise. It's easier for me to write C# or TypeScript code. So what is important is not the programming language. It's the logic. As long as you understand the logic, you have a programming mindset, you can solve a problem in any programming language. And that's what I'm trying to show you. So today we'll be talking about operators. Who knows anything about operators? You don't know? Yeah. No, it depends on you. Lambda it can be, but this is quite advanced, right? But let's go really basic. Addition, multiplication, and division. What else? Subtraction, right? Subtraction is basically addition. Is let's keep it. So you guys already know, right? I'm doing this mainly for beginners. If you're a beginner, please raise your hand and ask questions. What you can't do during class time, please do it here. That's why we are having those meetings, because you see there are a lot of experienced students. They don't need whatever I'm saying now. So please make sure that you get the best out of our meetings. So basically, we can have, okay, so you can have basic operations like additions. What is addition? You take one number and you add it to the other one, right? The same way you do it in math, like 1 plus 2, 2 plus 4. You can do the same thing in programming. The same way you have like multiplication, division. Then I'd like us to introduce other operators. So first of all, I think we have symbols here, right? Don't worry too much if those symbols are not the same in your preferred programming language. Just get the logic. So basically, for addition, we use this symbol, plus, right? So I'm going to try to write something for addition here. So I can write here basically x equal 1 plus 2. And I think I can print x, right? I think we compile it with GCC, right? GCC test.c. Okay. Dot out. Okay. So basically, we get the result here. I can add 1 to 2, and I get 3, right? Basic operation. The same way, I can use this other symbol, minus from subtraction. I do the same. And what's the result? -1, right? Let's make it clear first so we can have something. Okay, so -1. Then I can do 1 divided by 2. But this is going to fall. Why? It's not very. But that's not good. Why am I getting 0? Why? So I'm dividing 1 by 2. I should expect it's a float, right? And we have already talked about data types during last meeting. So please, guys, I don't want to come back to data types. Let's stick to basics. But basically, if I change it, I think we can go percentage f 1 divided by 2. Why? Wait. What? No, I'm printing. I think. Oh, okay. Wait. Something here. Let me try and fix it. Divine, please help me. I'm stuck. I'm dividing 1 by 2, and I want to print the result, and I'm getting 0.0000 something. Why? Percentage. Oh, 2. Yeah. Sorry, guys, I don't write that much C code these days, so no, same problem. Divine, you write C++, right? So I think I'm storing it in a float, right? And I want to print the result.
Address of the variable.
Oh, so you want me to do like this? Are you sure?
No.
Okay. Which one?
Right, it looks correct.
It looks correct, right? No, if this guy is better than me at C++ and C. Yeah, he's writing like low-level code. He's doing his last year's robotics engineering. So if you have like you want to debug C code, please go to him, not to me.
Because
Yeah.
of embedded C.
Embedded C. Oh, so you are not writing like.
I am not right. That's correct. What is the answer?
What? With my point, are you sure? But I'm getting an address. Nah, address like.
Yeah.
Address, guys. So you know what?
What?
You go to your laptop, you try the same code, then you try and fix it.
You don't have a compiler?
I have a compiler, but I'm compiling it like directly with the command line. Please try it. So we are going to skip it. He's going to debug it on his laptop, and we solve it, right? But basically, there is a mismatch in types here. The first time I was getting 0. Sorry, here, right? Computer science students are getting closer to me. Why? I thought it was easy. Huh? What's going on? No, if you want to debug it, you go to divide and you do that quickly. Float x. What do you mean? No, I've done float in the past. It was like this. Maybe let me try double. I'm sorry. Same result. We are going to debug it later. He will debug it. Oh, maybe. Let's try. Okay. That's why we need experienced members. You're really experienced, my friend. That's good. So that's what happened when you don't practice. And I'm not writing a lot of C code. So you can have such bugs in your code, and without experience, you'll be stuck for hours. Basically, in the past, it was not working because we had a mismatch in data types. Now that the data types is fixed, and this 2.0 is making sure that this one is not considered as an integer, but as a decimal value. And I'm basically dividing 1 by something with a decimal value, and I'm getting a double. That's a kind of decimal type. You have like different decimal types. You have like decimals, even you have double, you have floats, and that's mainly it. So that's another operator for division. Then we have one more. I think we talked about it. What about this one? Modulus. Reminder, right? Reminder of what? Of a division of what? By what? Numbers, right? So basically, it's like this. Let's say I have like my first number that is called A, and A is 10, right? And I have another number that's called B, and B is 10. There's a person that is missing. Right? I'm looking for a person. The person is Okay, it's okay. I think the person is there. But it's really important for the person. The person is not here. It's okay. So this operator helps me to get the remainder of the division of A by B. So I can have another one that is called C, and C can be this, and I can print C. Okay, so basically when you divide 10 by 10, the remainder is 0. What if I divide 10 by 2? Wait. Of course, because 10 is divisible by 2. You divide 10 by 2, 5, basically you have 0. And I can do something different, like 7. I know you can divide 10 by 7. 3, basically. Oh, you're good at math. That's good. You're good at math, right? Okay. So that's basically, there are different operators. So here, I'm not the one teaching you this. You have already learned it in primary school, like addition and stuff. Then we have this one, incrementation. What this operator is doing is basically adding 1 to a variable. We go back to it. Let's say I have like int a, right? Let's say a equals 1. When I do a plus plus, let's do a plus plus and then we check the result. I'm getting 2. So when I add 1 to a, I get 2 because a is 1. So this operator is like equivalent to saying that a is equal to a plus 1. That's the same thing. You know, both are equally valid. You guys get it, right? Both are equally valid. A plus plus is the same thing as a equals a plus 1. So I'm not going to spend too much time here. The same way you can decrement a value. You can do a minus minus. It's basically a equals a minus 1. Both are the same thing. It's doing the same thing. You can test it and you can run it. You guys should run things on your machines. Just try it for yourself. Okay, if you have like your laptop, you try it for yourself. Don't just stare at me when I'm talking. If you don't write code, you will not get it. You can understand basic things, then the teacher will tell you, it will give you like a basic problem and you don't even know where to start. So please, if you have your laptop, try it with me. If you're writing code in Python, no problem, you do the same. In Python, it's basically the same. I can do. Oh, is it? Okay, I can move this one here. You do the same thing in Python. I can do like X, but in Python, you don't have to specify types before initializing one variable. So I can do X equal 1, and I can print X. Print is basically to display something in the terminal with Python. Python does not why. Oh, I'm sorry. So it's basically 1 year. So on the right side, I'm writing Python code, right? So I've done X equal 1, and I'm printing X in the terminal. So the value is 1. I can do the same thing like S plus plus. I think does it work in Python? No. I think in Python, do you have a shortcut for incrementation? You don't do that, right? In Python, do you have it? X plus plus. I think it doesn't work. Yeah, last time I've written Python, it doesn't work. Look, X plus plus. Look, error. But basically, you can do this. X plus equal 1. This is equivalent to saying that X is equal to X plus 1. I think I'm going to lose beginners. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to make it really, really slow. If you have questions, raise your hands. And don't be confused. That's why I want you guys to write code along with me. Okay, so we go to other operators. Like then I've talked about equal last time. I've said that this equal is not the equal you have in mathematics. It's not the equal you have in math. This is basically to assign values, right? So when I do A equal B, I'm not comparing something, A to B. I'm basically assigning a value to A. That is the value of B. We go slowly. When I do here, A equal 1, and I print A, I'm basically assigning the value 1 to A. I'm not comparing A to 1. Is it okay? Because I'm going to introduce other, like, operators for conditions to compare values. So this is basically to assign values. We have already talked about like things like equal, plus equal. I've already sent the link in the group so you can check it for yourself, whether you are writing code in Python or C. The same way you have minus equal. No, we are going to skip this one. Modulo equal is basically the same thing. Like modulo equal is basically it means that x equal x modulo 3. You have like so many things like this. You have to the power of something and stuff like this. So we go to comparison operators. I think that's one of the most important parts that you should focus on here. Why? Because this is the foundation you need to understand conditions and loops. If you don't know how to compare values and you don't know what is called a Boolean, you will not understand how conditions and loops work. So for comparison, as I said in the past, like previously, the equal you have in programming, like in Python and in C, is not for comparison. It's to assign values, as I can do it here. So I have like basically I can replace it by x. So I have like x equal 1. I'm assigning the value 1 to x. Now, when I do x double equal 1, what do I get? Because we will go from the problem to the solution. Because so many beginners confuse this thing. Double equal. What is double equal? Okay. Then double equal, why does it return? It returns something. What is the result of a comparison? A Boolean. What is a Boolean? True or false, or 0 or 1. 0 or 1, true or false. You should understand this principle. Why? Because a condition is taking as parameter a Boolean, true or false. So when I do, let's say I do x equals 1, and I do x double equal 1, this will return 1 or 0. Is it okay? Is it okay? I'll go slowly. It's like I ask you a question and you can only reply saying yes or no. That's what is a condition, basically. I ask you, Carlos, are you alive? No, my friend. Sometimes, no. Like, I said yes or no. Are you alive? Yes. That's basically true. That's 1. And I ask you, Akasha, are you sleeping? No. So the answer is no. I don't want him to tell me, actually, it depends. At times when the teacher is talking, it's boring. And no. I've asked you a question and I want you to say to reply yes or no. That's basically a condition. And when you compare values in programming, you get true or false, 1 or 0. And if you want in English, yes or no. Do we guys get it? Okay. So I can do this. And I can try and print it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, give you a minute. I will store it in integer. Sorry, integer result x equal 1. Okay, and I'm going to print results. It's okay. So if you have questions, you can stop me at any time and ask questions. So basically, result. Let me put it in parentheses. It doesn't matter that much. I'm storing in results the result of a comparison between x and 1. So double equal, what's the difference between double equal and triple equal? Yeah, we have triple equal. No, in C, I think you don't have it, right? I think you have it in Python. In Python, you have like triple equal, right? If you are white, you don't have triple equal in Python. Are you sure? You don't? Let me try. We do the same thing here. Result. It's called x triple equal 1. So you don't, guys. So only JavaScript developers have triple equal. And Java too. And Java. So you don't have it. But let me introduce it anyway. So if you ever see triple equal, it's comparing the values and the types of the elements on the left side and the element of the right side. Just memorize it like this. If you ever see triple equal, it's not comparing only the values of the two elements, but it also compares the types. So you can see it in other programming languages like JavaScript. JavaScript is messy and is known for it. So you guys like writing, solving the challenge with JavaScript, be careful because JavaScript is really messy, and you don't have really type safety there. So there are so many things that you can do. So you guys don't have triple equal, so it's okay. We don't need to spend time there. Then we have another operator that is called not equal, right? How do I write not equal? Exactly, exclamation mark. So basically here, I'm asking a question. Or let's say I make a statement and I put a question mark. X not equal to 1. What is the answer? Yes or no? I go x equal 1. And I ask this question, like s equal 1. Yes or no? What is my answer? No. So we try it. And we get 0 because it's no. You have other operators like comparison operators like greater than. So I can do the same, x greater than 2. So here x is 1. And I ask, x greater than 2. Yes or no? No. So we try again. We get 0. So we go back, x less than 2. Less than 2. Sorry, less than 2. We do the same here. No. Sorry, yes. Because 2 is greater than 1 and x is 1. The same way, you have greater or equal. So what if I do x greater or equal to 2? No, to 1. What do I get? Output. You guys studying first year, be careful here. Why? Because you write exams on paper, right? C programming exam. That's what the teacher uses to trick you. Like basic things. And you can't compile to see the result. It's basically you see, it can show you something like this. X is 1. X greater of equal to 1. What's the value? Why?
But it is true.
Okay. So you have to understand when I do greater or equal, as long as one condition is satisfied, is true, right? Now, can I make it simple? Is it okay for everyone? If you don't understand, you raise your hand. I will try to explain it again. Then I'm going to change one thing here. What about that? This one. What's the output? Why?
Because S is already equal to 1.
Exactly. So I just need to check one condition. Then what if I do this? Are you sure? So it's so you try it. Okay, you guys are right. Now I'm going to change one thing again. Output. Sure, why? Okay. So this is basics, but it's really important that you spend time on that one. Why? Because once you start in programming, basically you learn on top of what you had learned in the past. We are going to talk about conditions. Conditions just take, how do I say? Uh, comparison operators most of the time, or a boolean. And most of the time you are going to get a boolean with such expressions like 1 greater than 2, 1 equals to 2, and stuff like this. I think we have seen most of them here. Then we have logical operators. Logical operators can help us to combine conditions. The first one will be, I think, let me make sure that in Python it's, okay, you have like such operators, logical, I think you have the same. And you Python, you guys studying Python, don't, I think it's still important for you, but don't, how do I say it? Don't focus too much on the way it's written. Just focus on the logic, right? So logical operators will basically help us to combine conditions. You have seen basic conditions, right? X is x equal to 1, is x less than 1, is else greater or equal to 1, and stuff like this. Now, what if I want to see if x is equal to 1 or x is equal to 2? That's why I need such operators. So the first one is basically AND that you have in English. A and B. Okay, so we take simple examples to try to illustrate these parts. I've seen Carlos. He was writing codes and sleeping. Is that true? Why? Exactly. So one condition is satisfied, right? But the second one is not satisfied. That's why it's not true. So the AND operator makes sure that the first condition on the left side and the following condition are both satisfied. Then it returns true. I'm going to write code both in C and Python to illustrate that. Now we will come back to the notation, how we write it. In C, it's double end, like this one. How do you call it? N%, right? N%, right? That's how you call it in English. N%, right? So N% here. And in Python, you write like plain English ends. Yeah. But in lowercase, please don't write uppercase. Does it work in uppercase? I don't even know. But write it in lowercase. Then you have or. Acacia comes to me and he's asked me, what is Carlos doing? And I'm like, Carlos, he should be writing code or sleeping. Am I lying? No. Because one condition at the time, at least, is satisfied. He's writing codes. If he was not writing code but he was sleeping, I was still telling the truth. I said, or. Carlos is writing codes or is sleeping. Is he writing codes? Yes. So he's satisfied. So this operation or like, you can see two vertical bars. I don't even know how to call it in English. This one makes sure that the item on the left side is satisfied or the item on the right side is satisfied. Now, how you write it depends on your programming language. I don't care that much. In C, you write it like this. In Python, you write or like in English. Then the last one, not. For not, how to write it in code, you have to write it to understand. But we will have examples. But not is basically the opposite of this one. Right? I think you have in Python, I think is well illustrated, right? In Python, I prefer the not in Python because it's like you can basically take something and reverse it. We will go with basic examples to make sure that we understand. Basic examples with the different operators. I will start writing in C. If you are studying Python, don't worry. Anytime you see me writing double end and end, this one n%, double n%, I mean end here in Python. If you see me writing this, I mean or in Python. And if you see me writing this one, exclamation like question, exclamation mark, right? I mean not. So we are going to have basic examples and we will see if you guys can guess the output. So let's make it simple. We will start simple, like with something simple. Not even with variables, we start with numbers. Let me say results equal. I can put parentheses, like there's no problem. It's not doing anything. It's, I think it's much more readable this way. 1 equals 1. Sorry, 1 equals 1. We go slowly. What's the output? 1 equals 1. True, right? Okay. Oh, sorry. So 1 is true, right? Then I'm going to add something with ends. What's the result? What's the output? Why? Buffer, okay, right? 1 is really equals to 1, and 1 is really equals to 1. So I write it. I have 1. Then I'm going to change this side. What is my output? Why? Why? Yeah, because this operator is making sure that this value on the left side and the value of the right side are both, like the conditions are both satisfied. It's basic. I can even write 1 and 1, but if I do that, people will be confused. But let me keep it like this. So the output of this one is 0. Now, what if I change sides? I put this one here and this one there. Why? Isn't it changing? Okay, let me write it maybe for those that can't really see. What's the output of this one? 0. Why? Exactly. So if I want this one to return true, both conditions have to be satisfied. The time is already exceeded. So guys, if you have something to do, you are free to go. Like at the beginning of the meeting, I've said that I was planning to extend the meeting duration because some of you guys have exams and I want to try my best to help you guys understand some basic concepts. Now, if you are experienced and you want to talk to me at any time, you can stop me and maybe I can share resources with you quickly. Maybe I will extend like maybe 30 minutes more for beginners. Then we stop the meetings and I will try to talk to advanced, like, programmers maybe working on the different challenges. So if you think that whatever we are saying here is basic and you don't care about whatever I'm saying, you can leave. But if you feel like like you like it or you want to learn more, you can stay. It's going to take maybe 15 more minutes. I'm not going to last long, just 15 more minutes, just to finish with basic operators, and I'm going to end with beginners. So, please don't forget to write your name here if you care about attendance. It's for your certificates. What? You have already written, right? No, wait. No, I don't even know your student number. Okay. I know it's busy. So basically I try to speed it up so we finish with operators, basic operators. So we don't come back to it like during next meeting. So that's basically it. Now we will try to work with OR. I change this one to OR. What's the output? Why? Why is that true? Yes. OR is checking if at least one of the statements is true. Right or wrong? Let's write it. Okay. Now I have a question. Does it matter if I change sides? Why? Okay. So I change just to confirm the number of conditions. Oh yeah, I can do that too. I can also do like this. Or no, but I think people are going to be confused. Let's try it. What's the output? Why? Now, what if I do this? Because this one is just checking if one is true. It doesn't matter if you go from left to right or right to left. Because as long as one is true, it's okay. I'll make another statement. Carlos is writing codes, or is sleeping, or is eating. Am I saying the truth? Yes. Why? Exactly. It doesn't matter if I say Carlos is sleeping, or is eating, or is writing code, because at least one of the conditions is satisfied. So that's basically it. You can combine as many conditions as you want, and you can combine and or together. Now, what if I do this? I think I can do this, right? Wait, let me just check something. Okay. We have talked about not, that is reversing things, right? The output of 2 equal 2 is 1, because 2 is really equals to 2. Now I can reverse it by putting, like, exclamation mark here. So what I get is the opposite of what 2 equals to gives me. Exactly. So I run it, basically it's 0. That's what you get when you do that. I don't want to take too long. Let me just check if there's anything. I think we are going to stop here. I wanted to talk about conditions and loops, but I don't think we are going to have enough time. Now, it really depends on you guys. Me, I already know such things. But if you really want to learn, maybe you can send whatever your suggestions in the group. If you want us to extend the time of the meeting for 2 hours so we can learn faster, it's okay for me, no problem. If you want to go faster, no problem. If you want to leave, you want to keep like 1 hour at every meeting, no problem, it's still okay for me. But please make sure that you learn. I've already sent the links in the group so you can review on your own. But when you go home, try to play with the conditions. I can spend hours explaining it over and over again, but you will not entirely get it unless you spend time writing code with it, playing with it. You already know basics of math. So you can do 1 equals to 2, 1 greater than 2. You can even check like if like age and stuff like that. Those are basic things. So that's mainly what I had for beginners today. That's all, guys. So if you have maybe questions, like you are stuck somewhere, I don't know, you can stay here. I'm going to stay, but the meeting is over for today. Sorry, guys, we have exceeded, but that's just for you. So if you have questions, you can come. You have like code that you want us to debug, and yeah.